Now, one of the things I loved about the movie too is the reenactments are so beautifully done, and they're so wonderfully placed throughout the story. How important do you think that is in your process, and it's something that more documentaries should have? Because I always love reenactments when they're done well, when they're shot well. I've seen some that haven't been shot that well, but. But if you shoot them well,
saying that is so awesome that you appreciated them. I mean, it was actually a big battle to get the reenactments done.
Really? In what way?
Well, in other words, we weren't really in agreement as a team on whether to go down that route. So it was a little bit of like trial and error convincing. And I think that here's the deal. You have to feel, we were trying to make an unconventional biography, right? That's why there are two things that felt to me like the language of the film that would help us really feel the presence of Yogananda. Right. And that was to really feel the presence of him as a boy, that one, that the seeker, the one that hadn't been realized, the one that was just still going into, saints' homes in Calcutta and trying to get the wisdom and trying to find, he's so hungry for the wisdom. The seeking part of him, we really wanted to be able to show that, to express that, to manifest that in some way on the screen. And then his voice, it was trying to really harness his voice. I couldn't believe that, how many people do you know that remember when they were born? They remember going through the womb. Mm-hmm. They remember how, Luna. They remember how, they actually felt coming through the womb, and were cognizant of the feeling torn between two worlds, be it spirit and like being material in the material world. Right. So those two things, finding his voice and using recreations, to me were two tools that we could use to help the audience really feel that they were in the presence of Yogananda.
And that's something that really I felt I reacted to that when I watched it, because I did feel that. And I've seen the movie a bunch of times now, and every time when I hear that voice and I see those images, it really does. It just brings the whole thing together in a way that just not interviews and B-roll would have done.
And we didn't really have a choice in the matter. There's only a dozen photographs at most of him in his youth and his family or whatever. Right. And, it's a visual medium. So we needed some method to tell the story. And, we talked about metaphors and visual metaphors. Right. we talked about all sorts of ways. How do you convey a feeling? How do you convey a feeling of longing, And ultimately, you do need actors and you need to look into people's eyes and have, convey that feeling. But, as you said, Alex, when recreations are good, they're fantastic, and when they're bad, they're so horrible.
And there was the risk. There was the risk of it being bad, Right. So that was the thing. You just had to have a lot of, to see it and then just really try to realize. And Arlene Nelson, our DP, I mean, I have to say, I just hand it to her, because it was just she really got that. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, we treated them and did all these things in post as well. And, we just had a really great team of people that helped us realize them in the way that we really envisioned it.
We studied a lot of films, one of the films that inspired us was Man on Wire. What
a great movie. Oh,
I mean, movie. It really makes the film. So it was those really well done recreations was our point of, that's what was our aspiration.
And the magical realism, I think, came from a Spanish film that Lisa had found, The Beehive, something of the Beehive. Do you remember the title of that?
Spirit of the Beehive.
Spirit of the Beehive.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful.
Yeah, beautiful film. And it kind of had a language of very, very subtle magical realism. And so, that was a really great resource that we used as well.